Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Coco here with Advo from Evo Guacamole Gaming, and we are doing the last episode of Cupid, which is also being recorded months after we did the other bonus material.
Yes. Yeah, it's been a while. But let's find out the last remaining secrets.
Yes, I've got a walkthrough of the options, the choices we need to make. So let's go ahead.
That's right. It's because I've been watching that one thing. It's the Barovia. See, to be stuck with the stupid child who doesn't know how to listen. I have told you time and again, do not disobey me.
Mother.
I should have smothered you years ago. You are a curse. I do all of this for you, to protect you. And you will repay me how? With lies and betrayal? I should have thrown you out the window and watched the crows feed on your remains. Baby defenestration. It's not too late now, don't you think? Maybe I should teach you a harder lesson. Maybe I should leave you here right now and never come back.
Worse than any physical pain, the girl felt a despair so big it made her heart burst. I think this is back to normal now. Rose clung to her mother's legs.
Yep.
Yeah.
I hit skip and it skipped.
Yep. You beat him.
Revenge.
Take the first. Not this wonderful scene. Sorry. Read more.
See, so and it stopped.
Those were all the entries she could read. She closed the book. Achievement unlocked. Unlocked all of Guijem's entries. Rosa's hands were shaking by then. A growing feeling of understanding came over her. His thoughts were too much like her own. They were too similar.
This may be skippable again.
Yep. He will not listen to you. What makes... Oh, yep, go ahead.
What makes you think he will listen to you? He has fed for centuries. His addiction is his own curse. It controls him.
Yes, but isn't he a creature of love? So am I. Love, no matter how lonely and depraved, always gives all of itself. Only I can understand. Only I can save him. That is why I want to try. What do you intend to do?
This spell cannot be reversed now. Just check with the skip. Oh, yep, it skipped.
Okay. Will that even work?
And check the skip. Yep. Oh, okay, it did stop eventually.
As such, I want to remember you as the one person who loved me with all her heart. Not the tainted woman who abused me. It is my fault you act this way. Your voice is my own insecurities and my own pain. Skip?
Okay.
Pled.
Pled. Skip.
Yes.
Oof. Hi, Franklin. I want him to suffer as much as I have suffered. All those years of torment. My pain during my last moments. I want him to pay.
I do not think that is what you really want.
What?
You are a part of me, Mother. You do not want vengeance, just as Catherine and I do not. You simply crave punishment. You crave atonement.
How dare you say that?
Is it not true?
Darling, what will become of me now without my role to guide you? Can you really make it on your own?
Of course, Mother. And I will still listen to you and love you. But my mind is clear. I am capable. I will save him, whether you allow me to or not. Why?
Yes. Why are you making an effort to save him? After all he has done.
Because I am all that he has left.
But you have seen what he really is. You have seen his true, ugly face.
We are all ugly. I want
Speak
to...
for yourself. Sorry, I had to get at least one in there.
Well, I got my looks from you, Mother. I want to believe there's something worth saving in him as well. After all, Mother, where would I be if you had not seen beauty in me too? I'm sorry, Mother. I know you hate him from the bottom of your heart, but I have already forgiven him. Like how I have already forgiven you. I understand.
I cannot stop you from feeling this way, can I?
I will try to save him from himself because that's what I'm supposed to do. Perhaps that is the reason why I was sent his way. I got to spend years with him and have memories of him. He taught me to be strong. He got to watch me grow into this strength. It is more than I can ask.
You do know that he does not feel the same way for you. He does not love you, child.
Yes, that makes me better than him. Because I love him without asking for anything in return. A concept that has never yet crossed his mind. So be it.
So be it, Baka. Sorry. It's like, whatever. I don't care. Just know that he is powerful and full of pride. He will not take kindly to being bound by magic.
We can only hope, Mother, that he is into that. Please take care of yourself.
I'm always here in your memories, my dear. Whatever happens, please take care of yourself.
Thank you, Mother.
My beautiful daughter.
I love you. Transience.
Okay. Is this still gonna be me?
Go for it.
Is this Mom?
I don't know. I don't think so. Because we've got the skip option now. Like, this is similar to the beginning of the second chapter.
You want to just skip?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh yeah, this scene. That was really...
Vagina Dentura.
Kijam woke up with the dream still fading from his memory. He was not in his room, but in Catherine's. How did he get here? Did he sleepwalk? This did not surprise him. Whoever cast the spell did not do so on a whim. A pure white candle flickered on the table, and its flame looked as though it was ready to go out. I couldn't save you. I tried. Rosa stepped out of the shadows.
You!
Guijem's anger subsided just a little.
What is the meaning of this, Rosa? This is your doing? Doing?
She looked at him with sadness. I was too weak to save you, Guijem.
Save me from what?
From what you are.
Incredibly handsome? I doubt it.
Guijem's face crumpled into confused anger.
I do not take kindly to people who dabble with my brain, Rosa. Especially when they have such audacity to do it when I am most vulnerable.
Do you expect me to ask for your forgiveness for what I've done, sire? Because I won't. I will stand by what I did. I would do it again if I can. But such a spell requires much preparation.
You are not to do it that again. Do you hear me?
Punk, what did I just say?
Boy. I will not allow myself to be subjected to such mockery.
It's not mockery. I'm trying to save you.
I do not know what you're talking about. If you persist in this foolish behavior, then I will be forced to take action.
Go ahead. But I will simply try again.
Stop it.
Guijem grabbed her shoulders in irritation and shook her. They stared at each other in heavy silence, and Guijem somewhat regretted his forcefulness. Rosa had grown stronger through the years, but she was still fragile, wasn't she? Maybe to him. Why was that? But Rosa's eye did not flinch or look away, even at his outburst. There was no fear or fragility in her eye at all. She held her gaze steady until it was Guijem who looked away.
Why? Why are you doing this? I understand that you loved Catherine. I know you wanted her memory to live on, but...
No, it's not because of that. Catherine's memory is already present in me. I already have her, but you don't. I wanted to give her to you, so you don't have to resort to feeding. Guijem recoiled from her like her skin was scalding to the touch.
You... How did you...
Rosa just stared at him, her eye clear and resolute. I know what you are because we are the same. We are creatures that emanate desire and feed on love. I have lived with this curse knowing only a semblance of what I am. Mother guided me. She protected me. She taught me how to control it, even in her own twisted way. I was lucky, Gijaem. I wasn't alone. But you were. Rosa's eye bloomed with sadness. I can only imagine how hard that must have been. Gijaem staggered back in shock. So there was another one like him. A desperate hope clutched onto him like talons. Was that why he had taken to her so without wanting to feed on her? Rosa wiped tears from her face. That's why I'm doing this, Gijaem. I wanted to give you Catherine's memory, like how Mother's memory kept me sustained. Love doesn't have to be taken like this. There are other ways. Gijaem frowned indignantly.
Don't you think I've tried that? You're still very young, I can tell. I have already endured centuries of this curse. I know all the tricks to survive. From strangers to the villagers, I know how much I can take. I am meticulous.
Then why must you insist on this method? With no reason to stand for ceremony, Gijaem's face changed easily. Rosa's jaw clenched. She was talking to a stranger now. His face lost the virtue that once belonged to a blameless man. It was replaced by a curious, cheeky grin, a perpetual look of childlike mischief. He was different, and yet somehow Rosa felt like she'd known him for a lifetime. He had always been there, hadn't he? Or rather, it had always been him.
Why? Because it is fun. And the taste is worlds better. The experience of drawing out love is unlike any human feeling. It is transcendent. It is the only moment I feel alive. The only moment I feel like a god. Once you have had a taste of it, nothing else compares. You must try it. I bet you can only afford to be self-righteous because you do not know any better.
You're wrong. I did it to Catherine. I tasted her love, but I was able to stop myself in time. I knew it would destroy her.
So, that whole sapphic thing, that actually happened, huh?
Yes.
That was you?
Maybe.
It makes sense that Catherine's love for me waned. That never happened before.
Desire can be controlled, Gijaem.
I do not wish to control it. And why should I? Admit it, you've longed for that taste since your tongue dipped in its pot. He's talking about vagina.
Rosa did not speak, because he was completely right. She shifted nervously on her feet. Gijaem went on.
We are given to this sorry, rewind the tape. We are given this curse to endure, Rosa. Why must we scatter in the corner and humble ourselves? To whom do we abdicate ourselves to? To normal people? They are beneath us. For all their achievements and talents, love is the one thing that can drive them mad. Do not you see? Their weakness is the one thing we feed on. It is the natural order.
Guillaume stepped closer to her and touched her bare arm. He tried to hide his bliss.
I told you before. If you need power, then be powerful. I will teach you how to wield it. You still have much to learn. If you will join me, Rosa, we can rule the galaxy as husband and... Wait. Sorry. If you join me, Rosa, just imagine what we can do. We will be powerful. You and I.
Rosa's momentary confusion faded. The hard look dawned on her face once again. I will never join you. You use people for your gain.
Can that not be said of all religion? Sorry, the Symphony of the Night.
Oh.
So you control men's minds. And so
Guillaume's voice couldn't keep from rising.
what of it? Isn't it the rule of human existence? It's all a game. And it's a game I play to win.
So people's lives are a game to you? Guillaume shrugged.
Of course they are. The alternative is much worse. Humans do not play fair. They use and abuse, and they throw away on whim. They destroy for no apparent reason, except that they want to. I just get ahead. I can give them love. I can give them affection. But I will never give them pity.
Rosa's eye narrowed at Guillaume. Didn't you once tell me not to think of myself as a victim, Guillaume? So why is it that all you ever think of yourself as? So why is that all you ever think of yourself as?
Yes.
Achievement unlocked, victim mentality. Guillaume's lip quivered. He tried to speak, but no words came out. Rosa stared at him. Her eyes seemed to search for his answer beyond his silence. Naive, he shouted in his head. You do not know what you're talking about. But his throat dried up. Suddenly, he felt inadequate in her gaze. Is that the reason you tell yourself it's alright to throw people away?
Okay, so for our first and coming back moment of like side serious talk. So this is interesting because especially in our current climate of how much there are groups of people that want to say that the poor and marginalized are constantly claiming to be victims or whatnot, and often they actually are. But it does seem like those that will bitch and complain and yell the loudest about how unfair the world is always ends up being the powerful white guys that seem to have everything, and they get so upset anytime something is, you know, considering someone other than them. And this kind of goes to that because I mean, like, well, yes, Guijem was victimized in the past type of thing. At this point, he is clearly landed, and he has great wealth and amazing amount of power, and he has security of sorts that most people cannot, because he's basically immortal, so he doesn't have a lot to be afraid of. This is like the only thing that could be a threat to him. Yet still, he constantly views himself as like the victim of all these other people that would seek to use him and whatnot. So, just an interesting thing that interesting parallel here.
I think more than anything, what he sees or is, I mean, I think it's debatable, a victim of is not even so much what other people have done to him at this point, but what he is having, because he has convinced himself after so many years of not being able to find an alternative that feeding on people is the only way to live, that he probably does still feel some remorse about it, but he thinks that he's been cursed to have to feed on people. I think that's where the victimhood comes from more, and he just sort of uses the excuse of how terrible people are to justify him having to do something he feels he has to.
Yeah, and there are a lot of, I mean, you'll see that with people. There are people that kind of end up having to take advantage of other people in order to just make out an existence, but that's like that's not kind of what, like, because he could also just decide to fucking die, like, he knows he could die.
He did try.
He tried starving himself, kind of just to see what would happen, but with the possibility that he might die. But he wasn't like. I think he knows that he has to stab himself in the heart to, If we figured it out, then I'm sure he knows it, that his heart's the real thing that is him being alive or not. But like, so, but the people that actually do have a significant amount of power, but still continue to take advantage of people, will often make excuses about how awful the people are that they take advantage of.
Yeah.
Again,
then they can justify what they're doing and not have to admit that they're shitheads.
Yeah, I mean, and there's an amazing amount of like, I mean, this goes back into like the entire nature of authoritarian and fascist ways, which is a reality we have to come to, which wasn't a reality when we started this damn game.
Nope. Let's sigh.
Lasai, exactly, is, like, there's a reason why that Trump is going to put out a machine of lies about immigrant crime. I mean, besides the fact that the Nazis did it, and so, if the Nazis did it about the Jews, it's good enough for Trump, But there's a reason why the Nazis did it, and that's because if you can blame the people that are being victimized by you and say that they're bad, then people will ignore how badly the victims are being treated.
Yep.
So,
So shape up, Guillaume.
But, yeah. That's right, Guillaume. We fucking compared you to Nazis and Trump. So, get your shit together.
Okay, now that I think of it in retrospect, I think we've been a little mean on him.
Yeah. On Guillaume?
Yes.
Yeah, a little mean. He does still need to get his shit together. Yeah. But
you're not a Trump.
I don't think he's... No, he at least has some... Like, I can at least understand where he came from it. like, Trump's just a piece of shit, born from pieces of shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
He didn't have to unlearn his empathy like Guillaume did. Like, I think Guillaume was born and actually cared and largely felt remorse for a long time over what he did and lost it over time. I don't think Trump never had remorse. He was born told that he didn't have to have any.
Probably.
So, I mean, your parents are rich Klansmen, But we're getting off topic too much.
Yeah, that's good.
I like the serious talks we have.
I do.
This may be a bit too much. This may be getting...
This is... Yes, exactly. I was going to it's a good conversation, but if we get started, we're not going to stop.
Oh, yeah, no.
Then you've never had the courage to see their value. You don't believe your own lie, do you? Mother was tainted, but she still loved me and protected me the best she could. Even in her cruelty, she gave herself wholly. Papa Francois was tainted, but he looked at me like a daughter and never touched me. Catherine. Rosa's tears made her voice quiver and break. She was tainted. Caught between me and you, I wonder what that was like. And yet, she never acted on desire, but on love. She was the safe place where two opposing forces meet. She loved you, Guillaume. And yet, when you took her love, you left a lifetime of memories. You left her hope. Your lack of love isn't what broke her, but this hope. She never stopped loving you. The woman, Catherine, may have thrown it away, but the child never did. You know it as much as I do, don't you? Rosa wiped her tears. I am tainted by you. I could hate you and curse you like any of your victims, but I choose not to, because of Catherine, because of Mother. I learned that love can be a blessing, something we can give rather than take. Love isn't your curse, Guillaume. This curse you wallow in was brought on by yourself. Guillaume took a hasty step back. Catherine's memory once again flooded his mind. The girl who gave him everything. In his greed, he forgot to ask why. Why did she give him everything? He might say that it was only fair. But that had always been a lie, hadn't it? The girl who always chose to be loving instead of just loved. He had always kept a few pieces to himself. This concept of totality utterly foreign and terrifying to someone like him. The girl who was whole. Guillaume clutched his chest.
But it's painful. I do not want to.
He said this petulantly, like a child.
I don't want to. I don't wanna.
It is painful, isn't it? But that is the real taste of love. Have you ever asked yourself why you stayed that long with her? Oh. Why you have delayed your feeding for so long? Why you cared for her until she died, even when you had no use for her anymore? Maybe you had started to love her beyond your needs, Gijaem.
You can't say... I have to remember Catherine's voice. You can't fake sacrifice, Mon Chow. Still no pronunciations are correct. You are a good man. Maybe you like keeping this face.
A different taste spread on Gijaem's tongue. It was salty, with just a hint of sweetness. Pure, like seawater. Gijaem realized he had tasted his own sadness, but it faded quickly from his numb mouth. He was so accustomed to pleasure that he scrambled to get her face back. It took all of his efforts to remember, to form the memories like a jigsaw puzzle in his mind. The stars, ribbons, the smell of burnt sugar, magpies. You'd marry me when I grow up, wouldn't you? Her hair, the wind, a touch of her fingers on his cheek. Every memory squeezed his heart, which he thought was long dead. It was the harder way. But a glimmer of understanding appeared. It was not enough to change him, but there was hope. The sickening taste he had been devouring was not love, only desire. He had put it in his mouth over and over again, convincing himself it was all there was, perhaps to wash away the taste of what he really wanted. Was it too late for him? The cravings controlled him. He could feel them slither under his tongue. He was sick of them, but also reliant on them. They were most loyal. Gijaem looked up at Rosa. He was never strong, he knew that now. Rosa was. You are the one I seek. The one to save me from this wretchedness. And didn't you say you are tainted by me? Do you love me, Rosa? Please, say you do. Please, walk beside me. Gijaem stepped closer to her.
I don't understand much, but I will try. Stay with me. You do not know how grateful I am to know I am not alone in enduring this.
He reached out his hand to touch her, almost like a newborn reaching for the warmth of a mother. But Rosa shoved away his hand. There was a bitterness in her voice that stabbed through his heart. Why are you surprised to know I exist? Am I that easy to forget? Gijaem frowned.
What are you talking about?
You don't remember me at all, do you? You locked my memory away. You were content to forget. What you did to Mother was already unforgivable. But to erase her existence from your mind, I could hate you, Father. Gijam's chest tightened.
No, Jessica. Okay. So this is I'm excited about this. Because I think we're gonna really get the answer of is this really bad thing happening? Like, because that was never
No, it
clear.
wasn't.
Like, it went back and forth on what it was supposed to be. What?
But that's impossible. I was never able to. Rosa took out the locket that he had given her.
Search your feelings. You know it to be true.
The lock was open now, and a picture of a woman was inside. Gijam couldn't remember her, but the woman's face stirred something buried deeply in his mind. Fire. Moonlight. He searched his memory for such a woman, but his mind came up blank. His head ached.
I do not remember.
Of course you don't. Isn't that how insignificant we were to you? She loved you. But to you, she was just another faceless woman, easy to throw away and forget. Even when you left, she kept me. Me, who was a constant reminder of her pain. Tell me how meaningless this love is. Why did you leave her, father? Is it hard to keep something you broke? Gijam's hand shook. He was barren, wasn't he? And yet here she was, his child. He didn't know how that could have happened, but he clung to the belief desperately. He welcomed the regret. He savored this pain. How could he have forgotten the only child he sired?
Rosa,
My name is not Rosa. I lost my name a long time ago. Much like you have lost me in your memory. Tears fell from her eye. How could you drop me so easily? Am I not good enough? You didn't even look for me, never even thought about me. She was sobbing now, like a child who wanted to understand the mysterious ways of her parents but could not.
Isn't that literally exactly what is
Yeah.
happening?
This game is usually on point with the writing, but that line was pretty dumb.
Yeah.
Gijam's arms moved stiffly on their own. He held her in his arms as she cried, stroking her head to soothe her. Achievement unlocked, father and child.
I'm sorry.
He still couldn't remember this woman he loved. Unlike his other victims, he must have stayed. Hoping, probably, that things would improve. Hoping that the hundreds of shallow lovers he had had before were somehow payment for one true love. If he stayed long enough, if he paced his feeding, if he might not remember her, but he already knew what happened. Greed is the core of desire. I am not a monster, but why am I always hungry?
Gijam, grab a Snickers. Never mind. I'm sorry. But you are here now, Rosa. Let me make it up to you. I'll go to your baseball games.
He held Rosa tightly in his arms.
Maybe this is the love I need. The love of family. Rosa, you are my family. If we stay together, I don't need to use other people, you see. I will try my best to learn from you. I will. I will. try to sate my addiction.
Achievement unlocked. Love is my drug. This was the first time Guillaume used that word. He winced at the grossness of it. His mouth salivated with disgust at its weight. But he swallowed it like a hard pill. He could change. He could. For her. Everything would be alright. Rosa was here now. Rosa was... I don't think you understand, Guillaume. We cannot stay together.
Okay, before I go on, I'm just thinking of like, you know that meme, they do it for her with the from The Simpsons.
Yeah.
With the Maggie. Yeah, I'm just seeing this, except it's all pictures of Rosa.
Oh.
Why not?
Guillaume spat with the anger of a man with shattered hopes. Deep inside he knew why, but his loneliness pushed it away.
Again, one of those, like, it's not really a simile. That was Guillaume spat with the anger because he was a man with shattered hopes. Yeah, but anyway.
Maybe this time it wouldn't turn out like the others, he tried to convince himself. She was his daughter. It might be different. It would be. He wished to change it with the force of will alone. Our curse will taint even this kind of love. I can feel it surge in me even now. It is slower than normal, but more potent and dangerous. And then what? Time will pass and you will degrade me into another lover's memory. You'll be doomed to repeat the same thing. You know this too, don't you?
No.
He held on to her stubbornly.
No, please. I'm sure we'll find a way. I'll do whatever it takes.
Rosa broke away from her father's embrace and stepped back from him. You can't make me stay like an object to satisfy you, father. I'm doing this for you. Sound advice unlocked. If you do not want Catherine's memory, then I will leave you mine. My dearest father, I love you. I love you how a child inexplicably loves their parent, without any conditions or any hope of return.
Yeah, she's pretty good with both her parents doing this.
Yeah.
To do this. Yeah.
You were given the chance to raise me, and I was able to make memories of you I will treasure. I want you to be happy. I want you to be free. You don't know how much it hurts me to do this, but you cannot depend on me for change. You must do it on your own. Please remember me like this. I hope you will change, knowing that it can be done.
Rosa, please. Please stay. I beg of you.
Goodbye, Father. May we meet again in better times. Rosa turned her back on him, and Guillaume fell to his knees in despair. He stretched out his hand to reach for her, but she seemed too far away.
Don't leave me.
A final exhale of breath, and the candle fizzled out. New beginnings. The first few rays of the dawn touched his face. He opened his eyes. Agape's blessing. And that was ending 1 and the end of this series. Ooh.
Man, there's a lot happening.
Yeah. Main purpose is revenge. You loved Rosa despite misgivings. Yada yada yada. That's still only 79% complete. But I think that will be it. If there's leave stuff there for you guys to figure out, if you wish.
Wait, wasn't there a bonus
There's
thing?
like a bonus ending, but I haven't found anything on how to get that, so I don't know.
Well, there's some. Why don't we explore that in a second video, in another video? I don't know if you're gonna split
Alright.
what we've done so far.
Yeah.
I will just, because there's things like when I clicked on bonus, it shows 3 different things here. So.
Alright. Yeah, I see old time's sake, Gilly's secret journal.
Yep. And the production jokes.
Oh, okay. Alright, well, yeah, we'll
So.
see that all in a different video. So, see you guys next time.
Awesome. Farewell.
And I just shot a child. That's a cute image.